Good afternoon, Cheryl.
Hi Janet, how are you?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
How can I help?
Well, the last time we spoke was over a month ago.
I'm finished. I can give you a brief update.
You
I've
finished the
completed.
section 37 without including me.
I haven't written section 37. Cheryl, please. Okay.
You're saying please,
Uh,
I haven't said anything.
no, you've just said you've written a section 37 without
Yeah, because
including.
I got a court order saying that social services is to complete a section 37.
No, to write one. Nothing's completed.
Okay. Well, I'm not a
And that
social worker, so because I'm not a
no,
social worker, I'm supposed to be told what is exactly is the process.
no, but you've just wronged me and told me that I've completed something I haven't completed.
I misheard you, Janet. You have to
Okay.
understand I'm autistic.
All right. So the recommendation is to complete a section 37.
Mhm.
All right, that's the recommendation that's
And
come
what
back.
is a section 37?
It's to provide information to the judge for the judge to make a decision to where the children should, what are the children's needs, what's in their best interest. Yeah.
And I don't get included in that?
Okay, so in terms of you being included in that,
What?
it's about.
It's also about, I mean, the children live with me most of their lives, correct?
Honestly,
They were in Myron's care from 2020. Myron's committing child benefit fraud, council tax fraud. He only just let the courts know that Shemaiah hasn't been in his care since 2021. Marilyn also did not come forward and let anybody know that the kids haven't been in his care, or Shemaiah hasn't. Nobody has. I still have parental responsibility, or has that been removed?
unless you
Because
die,
when,
unless you die, you will always have
right,
parental
so when the
responsibility.
children went to live with Myron, there was a specific order that was made. And that order was for social services to liaise with me, to provide contact. That wasn't done. How am I supposed to be updated on the children that I gave birth to and brought into this world if nobody at all speaks to me? Why am I
Okay.
being treated like an animal?
All right. No one's treating you like an animal, Sherelle. I can't talk about what happened before I was a social worker.
No, but you can
Okay.
see what happened because I
But
sent you the revoke.
but I've
I sent you my
also
court bundle.
but I've also been made aware that Pooja didn't agree to supervise contact.
It's not down to Pooja. There was an order. The judge made an order. And
Well, Pooja chose to override that order.
Pooja did not speak to me until July 2021. At all. So the children were in Myron's care for over 9 months. Whatever Pooja overrode, the children have been requesting to see me. Do you realise social services have no rulings over children? You guys are hired as agents to support the court's rulings and also to support the parents or the family or the guardians. And that's not being done. So social services are perverting the course of justice?
We're not perverting the course of justice. When was the last time you had a conversation with Tasia or Shemaiah for them to inform you that they wish to see you? Or is this
Loads of
going...
times.
Okay.
Shemaiah especially. Tasia's been held from me, clearly, and she's being manipulated. I've got a lot of evidence to show you, but you don't ever want to meet with me to see it. You don't want to meet with me to see that Myron was catfishing Shemaiah's pages. I mean, my whole social media following can see this. Why doesn't anybody else?
Okay, I am not going to be... I'm not going to be in the middle of you and Myron.
I'm not asking you to be in the middle of... Who wants you to be in the middle of me and Myron?
Okay.
What I would like is that my children's best interests are put forward. And it's not in any child's best interest that they are severed from their mother. When they were categorically told, you'll be seeing mum soon. That was nearly 3 years ago now. Shemaiah has texted me. I screenshotted you the texts. I sent them to your email. where Shemaya's saying, "You could have unblocked my account. I want to see you." She's always in communication with me, actually.
Am I right in thinking there's a non-molestation order in place? And
Unlawfully, Myron got the non-molestation order by hacking Shemaya's social media accounts and messaging as her. She has confirmed that those weren't her messages and that she wasn't logged into those accounts. Myron's been doing this for a number of years, even when the kids were in my care. You're not looking at the full factors. You're not understanding domestic violence and the psychological element. I've made several police reports. They refuse to investigate a single thing because it's quite clear that the police co-conspire with Children's Services and the family courts.
The police are
it would be better that it would look much better if you would have met with me and seen this evidence rather than me to just provide it to the courts. How's it going to look when I provide the whole bundle? How's it going to look when I provide the whole story in chronological order of what's been going on? It's not going to look good. People might be losing their jobs. Perverting the course of justice carries a maximum sentence of life imprisonment.
Okay, do you know what? I am going to tell you, I have not prevented the course of justice.
I didn't say you. Did I say yourself?
Okay.
If you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to answer to. I'm not saying yourself. You just come on board this year.
Okay.
But there's a large number of professionals that have perverted the course of justice. You might not be aware of my working background. You're just looking at reports. Even though the police stole my qualifications, they didn't steal the pictures that I took of them. They didn't steal the training that's instilled in me. You know, contact supervisor, family support worker, child and adult safeguarder. I'm quite aware of laws. I'm quite aware that doctors were drugging me, and I've recorded them saying it. There's a whole story, and it's quite corrupt.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter that the children were removed 3 years ago. It still has to get looked into.
Who's supporting you with this?
I'm supporting myself. I'm quite good at that.
Alright, so you're a party to the proceedings.
Because when I spoke to you last month, it was, I know how corrupt the police can be. I understand about domestic. You was very sympathetic, and you've completely changed your stance for some reason.
I haven't changed my stance. I am trying to get my head around this. This is all incredibly complex.
I understand, but it's not complex in the way that I can present it to you and show you. I've kept a large number of records. I've kept all of my emails with Myron when he's having me falsely arrested and threatening and harassing me. I've got a lot. So a lot of the corruptors deleted a lot of my database, but unfortunately for them, I've kept and backed it up.
I mean, to me, let's think about this like as a puzzle. There's lots of different pieces of the puzzle. I want to, and I've asked Islington, I want to go and read the children's records.
All the record. What I've been trying to explain to you, Janet, sorry to interrupt you. I've been showing this because you can screen record, you can get a phone out. My emails have been hacked. My devices are getting hacked. They're operating on their own. Yeah? I've been trying to explain that when I was falsely arrested by the Met Police in 2020, and they sprained my knee, trashed my car and left it on the side of Blackstock Road for the witnesses to sleep in. I collected everything. They told the criminal and the family courts it was a menstrual bleed rather than a chronically sprained knee in 2 places. At the same time, my criminal solicitors of 23 years, GT Stewart, had me sign a consent form. And the consent form looks into all my medical records dating back to birth, housing records back to birth, phone, mobile and landline records back to birth, dental records back to birth, driving records back to birth, school and education records back to birth, also the children's. And ever since, our databases are being hacked. The children's birth certificates cannot be found online. Don't you think this is highly unusual?
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either, and I'm quite shocked at what I'm seeing. But it's true. This is the reason I'm walking around with a body cam. I'm being followed by Met police officers. They just came here last week with a court order to detain me under the Mental Health Act. How come they didn't detain me? Because I showed them all the crimes. Isn't it a bit weird? They came with a court order to remove a person under the Mental Health Act, and the person wasn't removed. But it was captured on my Ring doorbell and posted on social media. Everything you guys are doing, I'm posting it, you know.
Who's you guys?
Everybody. Anyone that I feel is involved, anyone that is keeping me from my children, anybody that is entertaining these crimes, because these are serious crimes.
Okay, I now am going to be this social media.
Sorry? Yes, because under GPDR 2018, in the interest of public safety and my safety...
I'm now going to be reluctant to talk to you.
Well, you can be if you want to.
Of course,
But
I'm going to be reluctant.
why would you? I mean, if you're an ethical professional, you shouldn't have no reason not to talk to me.
Why would you want to be posting things for people to know?
Did I say I posted you?
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna post. I'm definitely gonna post false disclosures. I'm definitely gonna post forged certificates. I've got one certificate saying media studies when it should say science, and I've got the real one saying science. Forged signature and everything. I'm gonna post anyone's crimes. It's perfectly legal. I'm not a slave to the UK government. This is modern slavery. This is treason, actually. And they should have realised before messing with me that they picked the right one. I'm not here to be abused my entire life by UK professionals. I'm a professional. I've never abused my powers in any job or employment I've undertaken. I've never abused my children until I was drugged by GP surgeries. It's a bit weird. I'm looking at my medical notes, and at 1 second it's quetiapine, next second it's quetiapine quick release. I am trained in mental health, so I'm quite aware of what's happened to me my entire life. And if no one wants to be an ethical reporter or understand the Whistleblowing Act, I'm going to have to. So it's quite strange that Shamaya keeps calling the police. She's told officers, social workers, how many times she's run away from home, how many times her dad has assaulted her, and nobody's done anything about it. Oh, you might want to be aware also that Marilyn's committing birth certificate scandals. Yeah, her son Michael has about 10 birth certificates in different names, and her son Ronaldo. It's not something that needs to be looked into. I don't really like the idea of my children living with scammers and criminals. I'm not going to safeguard other people's children before my own, am I?
I imagine they're grown adults.
Sorry?
I imagine they're grown adults.
I said I'm not going to say I'm a trained child and adult safeguard. I've safeguarded loads of kids. I said I'm not going to safeguard everybody else's kids before making sure I safeguard mine.
Okay, I hear you.
So all I'm asking for is the rights, and that the legislations are followed. If there's a Section 37, you've met with Myron, I'm sure. I met with Marilyn. I'm just saying this is what normally. This is what has to happen for you to do a section. But
you're making a lot of assumptions.
He's got custody of my kids, so how are you going to speak with Tasia without speaking with Myron? He has. I said it's not an assumption. Excuse me, Janet. We've had social workers for 14, 15 years. I know what happened before 2020, the usual procedure. Any social worker gets involved. They don't need to communicate with the parent that has custody and the one that doesn't.
I'm going to say goodbye now.
When will we meet? You said I would speak. Your manager will call me. That hasn't happened. You said you'll meet with me to look at my evidence. That hasn't happened.
Yeah, no. I will speak to my manager again.
You've only got till May 27th. When does your report have to be submitted to the courts?
15th or the 16th of May.
The 15th or the 16th. And today is the
3rd.
The 3rd. So you've got 13 days now. And you're going to figure out the children's best interests without figuring out if the mother is part of that best interest. So I'm being exiled.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
It can't be an assumption. We've got 13 days. You haven't met mum whatsoever. The parent who had custody for 11 years and the oldest child is 14. So you don't want to know their medical background because Myron doesn't have this. You don't want to know previous school reports. Myron doesn't have this. You don't want to see how much their quality to life has gone downhill since they've been in their care. You don't want to see all the positive school reports, all the certificates, the fact that Shemaya was never kicked out of school, let alone sent home. You don't want to compare the medical notes to see, is there anything medically that's going downhill since the kids have been with the parent, with the paternal family.
Do you have anything else to say?
Just if I'm going to be included in this section 37 or not.
Okay, I'm going to advise my manager to call you, and I will get back to you after you've spoken to my manager. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. And we see people, how they behave. And we wonder why I'm having to move like this now. Arrest my case, Your Honour. The UK government are crooks, criminals, scandalous. Oh, and look, I get a letter today from Emily Thornbury, who's blocked me on Instagram. One of the main corruptors getting her borough to abuse me. She wants me to know that she's here to help. And she's available to discuss any support I may need during the cost of living crisis. And she's written on the bottom, P.S. I'm here to help. I'm here to help too. I'm about to help the whole country. You'll see.